Let's build our game. The first thing we have to do is we have to name our project. For this case, I'll be naming our project fruit underscore ninja with double A. So let's open our project. Now, so for this game, we'll be needing some basic components such as our Canva, our image printer, so that for the images to be running around the screen or coming up and down any way we want it. We want the images to be moving, so we will use image printers instead of images. So we also will be using a label, a button, and some non-visible components. So let's start designing. Let's start from our screen. So how do we want our screen to look like? First thing, we need to change our screen title. We'll change our screen title to Fruit Ninja Game. So we have it changed to Fruit Ninja Game. So can you see? And let's change our um horizontal arrangement and vertical line. Let's align it center. So now let's drag in our first components. Our first component will be canvas. So we'll drag canvas inside the screen. Now, what does the canvas do? The canvas is the background of our game. So it will be the one to hold our image printer. So let's design our canvas. First thing we need to do, we have to set the height to fill parent, and we have to set the width to fill parent. Now we have to set our background images. So instead of us setting the images one by one, let's just upload all the images at once. So after setting our background image, we'll come here and we'll search for image printer. So pick it, drag it. We need 3 image printers. So we need 3 image printers. Now for the first image printer, we set the width and height to 50 pixels. Now you have to set this before you set in your image. The reason is when you set your image printer size before or after adding your image, it's a lot difficult because you are trying to resize your images, so you'll be going trying different pixels because the image will be moving away from the screen. So that's the reason why it's advisable to set your image height and width before setting your image that you will use for the image printers. So we set it to 50. Now we are done with the image height and width. Now let's set the pictures. So for the first one we set this. Now this is a mango. For the second one, set this. This is a watermelon. Then for the third one, we would set this. Now this is an orange. So let's rename the components so we don't mismatch them. So we have mango. Sorry. So I have mango. Now for the second image, we have watermelon. Watermelon. And for the third one, we would have orange. So now we're done renaming our image printer. But before we continue, we have to set our image printers to false. So we have to off the visibility, set it to false, so it won't show. We'll actually set it to true in our block section. So the other component we'll be needing are what I call label 1 and label 2. Now what does label 1 do? Label 1 is what will be showing our score. So we change our font size to be 30, and we'll make our font bold. Now we have to change the font, the label text to score, then set to what? 0. So we're done. Now this will be the label that will be showing our time. So we'll come here, let's set the font to 25. Let's make the font bold too, and let's set the font the label text to time 30 seconds. So yes. So let's rename our component too. Let's rename this one to be score label, and this one to be time label. Yes. Now these are the components we need. Let's add in our start button. So we just, where is the button? So pick a button and we drag it here. So let's design our button too. Let's make the font size 35. Let's make the font bold. Let's make background color black. Background color of our button black. Yes. Now let's make the height. Or let's leave it as it is. Let's change the text to start button. And let's change our text color to be white. Yes. So let's change our button. Let's change our button shape to be rounded. Yes. So now we are done with our visible design components. Let's move on to our non-visible components. The first we'll be needing is a clock. Now we'll need 3 clock. 1, 2, 3. I'll tell you why we need 3 clock. And also we'll be needing a notifier. Now, why do we need 3 clock? The first clock will be the normal timer that we set to 30. So let's just leave this one as clock 1. Then the clock 2 will be our slice erase clock. I will tell you that when we get to the logic. I will explain more on that when we get to the logic. So let's just rename it slice erase. Slice erase. Yes. Now for the third clock, now this will be for our fruit movement. So let's just put fruit mover. Yes. So, and the notifier, let's leave it like that. So now we are done with our design phase. Let's move to our logic phase where we now make our game come alive.